Hello everyone, welcome back to the IndieGeekGuy channel, and today we're taking a look at a teaser trailer for the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, the Amazon Prime show. I am so intrigued by this. I want to see what it's going to look like in motion after months and months and even years at this point, I suppose, of talking about this show, being in development and like behind the scenes news, all that stuff. And just the other day we got some images. But I am so curious to see this thing in motion, what it's actually going to look like, and all of that stuff. Like, how much money have they spent on this, and is it going to pay off? Other things I'm intrigued about in regards to this, is it going to be acting as a prequel to the Peter Jackson movies, or is it literally its own thing? Is it going to be its own story within its own version of Middle-earth, or is it going to be building backwards, I suppose, from those movies? Is it meant to be connected to those movies, or is it going to be this ambiguous, if you want to think of it as connected to those movies, you can. If you'd rather not, you don't have to. Is it going to be fitting in that kind of slot? Or potentially, could this be building towards Amazon doing their own retelling of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings after the fact? That could be on the cards as well, I suppose. In either case, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm not a big, lore fanatic in Lord of the Rings. I don't know all the nooks and crannies of it. I know probably more than the average viewer or, casual fan, but I'm nowhere near an expert by any means. I know some basic, extended stuff, and where a lot of this is being drawn from. I know little bits and pieces of it, but I'm not an expert by any stretch. But it's an interesting element of the Lord of the Rings universe to jump into. It's definitely something I'm curious about presumably the Rings of Power coming into fruition as they slowly take grasp of those that they are given to, and obviously the Ring of Power. So I imagine Sauron's going to be a factor here. I'm wondering if the show is going to actually tell us who Sauron is, or if it's going to be like a mystery as to which character within the show is actually Sauron by the end of it. I don't know, there's lots of things they could do. But I'm interested to see. I know there are characters like Galadriel, Elrond, I think a couple others who are going to be in the show as their younger selves, or much younger selves. And I know that this is probably going to be condensing lots of different parts of the Lord of the Rings lore and its history, and sort of jamming it closer together, opposed to it being taking place over thousands of years, I guess. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but I'm interested. So let's jump into this teaser and finally see what this thing's going to look like, shall we?
Haven't you ever wondered what else is out there?
Well, clearly spending money.
This world,
Money is being spent.
beyond our wandering. I can feel it.
Okay. Before the king. Oof. No thank you. Is that Galadriel? I assume that's Galadriel, right? Before the Fellowship. Oh, sweet. Oh, before the ring. I assume that's Elrond, maybe? Oh, look at that thing. Oh. Oh my god, he's naked. He's naked. The Ring of Power. And that was a teaser. If I ever saw one, that was a teaser. Alright. Well, that most certainly was a teaser, wasn't it? But we got a date, September 2nd, I believe it was. So that's exciting to know when that's going to be happening. But crucially, just like I said at the top of the video, it's just nice to see this thing in motion, actually getting a sense of what it's going to look like. Now, clearly this whole teaser is based around the idea of this is happening before everything we know. But naturally, I feel like obviously it is going to be leading itself into the stuff we know, because, that's the way you hook the audience back in, right? And based on the sort of bits of research, I don't want to spoil myself too much on the show, so I've tried to just cherry pick information. So I feel like, obviously by the title, it is the formation of those rings, and it looks like we're getting the characters that those rings might be going to. I'm very sure that was Galadriel in there and Elrond in there. I might be wrong on who it was, but I feel like that's who they are. But I'm excited. It looks like it's action-packed. It looks like there's going to be lots of action. It looks like they have spent a lot of money. The visual effects are of movie quality level. and like the creature design looks interesting as well. Lots of, you know, I don't know, I'm hoping they do some like practical effects stuff as well, because there was a lot of like CGI monsters in there, which, you know, obviously CGI is there to be used if you can't achieve something physically, that's fine. But for me, Lord of the Rings, especially with the vision of the Peter Jackson trilogy in my head, like practical effects are kind of part and parcel of that world for me. And, you know, I just hope if they've got orcs in here, like your bog standard orcs, they've gone with costumes and not CGI orcs, because frankly, those CGI orcs in The Hobbit, they didn't look good. They don't look good. But no, I am excited. I am honestly excited. It's an interesting period of time in the Middle-earth saga, if you like, to tap into and to see this stuff come to fruition. I am genuinely very interested about how Sauron's going to fit into this, because obviously he is going to, because of the nature of the title of the program. So he's going to be playing a part, and I am interested to see if they're going to play that up as a mystery in terms of, you're not going to know which character actually is Sauron, because obviously at this point I assume he's meant to look like warm and gentle and like you can trust him, because that's how he cons everybody into this power of the rings and taking them all over thing that he does. Like, these crazy kids out here will be doing these days. I am also curious if the show is a success and they decide to keep making it, like what kind of time period they're going to be covering. Like, are they going to be jumping ahead quite long periods of time? Are they going to do it like Crown, perhaps, where they will recast certain characters as they get older, like all that kind of stuff? I'm interested about that, but that's like speculation off into the future. Like, if this show does well and they decide to make more, considering the amount of investment that they're clearly putting into this, they have to, you know, presumably they have to see some sort of return on the investment in order to keep doing it. So we'll see how that goes. But no, it does look like it has a strong visual style, helped by the massive amount of money that's going into it. It looks like they are drawing from, you know, the same kind of places that Peter Jackson was drawing from. I think it is the artist who has been working on like Tolkien-based materials for years, where they're getting a lot of the design from. So again, it's not entirely clear if this is going to be linking into the Peter Jackson version of the movies, or if it is its own thing. But, you know, they're taking the same visual language. So again, it could just be a, well, if you want to see it that way, you can do, until we go ahead and remake our own version of Lord of the Rings, which they could do. We don't know. They have the money. It's Amazon. They can do what the hell they like, apparently. But no, I am excited for the show. I think it's going to be big, sweeping, and epic. And I just hope it can live up to that. Obviously, there is a lot of expectation on this, because, you know, Lord of the Rings has a massive fan base, both in terms of the books and Tolkien, and indeed the movies. Like, there are two fan bases who don't always see eye to eye on these things. But there is a lot of pressure, I think, to get this right if you're going to do it. And there's a lot of people who are excited for more content from the Tolkien stories, and indeed, if they're a fan of the movies, to see more of that world just brought to life. So I hope they do it. I hope, for the sake of the cast and the crew, that they do it, because clearly work is being done on their part to make this thing work and to make it good. So I hope it is. I hope it works out for them. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be watching it. Maybe as a reaction on the channel when it comes out, we will see. But I'm excited, and that's a good thing. So that just shows the teaser trailer did its job. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button. It helps me know you liked it. It helps it get seen by more people. And consider subscribing so you don't miss any future content on this channel. That's video games, reviews, reactions, all the good stuff. You won't regret it. And other than that, thank you for watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.